Hello everyone. On this video we will be going over in how to manage the time for your staff in Kronos. So as you are already a little bit more familiar with the Kronos platform, I will be guiding you on how to edit and add time for your staff in this platform. So the first thing that we're going to do is show you the way on how to access a timesheet. So there's different ways where you can go and access the timesheet for your staff. I'm just going to guide you through possibly 2 to 3 different ones where you can basically access the same screen. Just going to give you like a few different ways to do so. The first one is going through the commands, which is you're going to be managing your time and manage your timesheets. So in here you have different options on which to select according to what you want to manage. So if you want to go by pay period, you can select this one. Or if you're working on a current timesheet, you just can select this. And or if you want to give a quick glance to all the open timesheets, you can go in here. There are more options, but I believe this two, pay period and current, will be the ones you guys will be working on. And most likely current is the one that you guys will be using the most. So just for this training, I'm going to be working on current timesheets, but I'll give you a quick glance on how by pay period timesheets may look like. So I'm going to click in here, and the first thing you have to select is what pay cycle are you trying to go for in here. So you want to go to a previous one, you're going to go to a next one, or you're going to go to a current one. So once again, I'm going to try to work on my current, but to use this one or this search tool in here, you need to select the correct pay profile for your employees. This is the only reason why I not necessarily recommend this, but if you know the pay profile, for example, if I want to do a biweekly employee on a Saturday basis, then this will be the profile that I will be choosing. And everybody who is a biweekly employee, which start date is a Saturday, will be showing up in here. All right. So the other option, as I said, it will be just going straight to the current timesheet here. So the difference between this and the screen that we just saw, it's like everybody who has a current timesheet, regardless of what the pay profile is, will be showing on the screen. So if you are in the market that have multiple profiles, you probably want to be using this one instead of the previous screen, since you have to switch the profile over and over every time you want to access different employees. So once you're here, is finding your employees very easy. You just have to filter it by name or last name or both, however is easier. So let's say I want to choose any of these. Let's say Luis Gomez. I'm just going to go Luis Gomez. And any Luis Gomez that I have available for me will be showing up in here. If you know the employee ID, it's easier. You can just type the employee ID in here and it will also filter it. But if you don't know the employee, you can always filter by name. So another way to access a timesheet is searching for your employee. You can search for your employee from the search tool here, or you can go simply to my employee information. And let's say I want Luis Gomez once again. And once I have Luis Gomez information, I have here what we call also a quick link. It's this little chain icon right here. You click it, and a few options will be available in here for you. And one of them is the current timesheet. So once you select it, you will be thrown right inside the timesheet for this person. So basically those are pretty much the 3 ways or different ways where you can access the same screen. It's the same timesheet. It's just, once again, different ways to access it. Now once you're in the timesheet, now you want to start either adding the time or updating the time if it's incorrect. And the way to do so is just filling out these spaces or fields right here. So let's say we're just adding time for now. which will be the same way you edit it. If it's wrong, you're just going to overwrite whatever it's in here. But I'm just going to show you guys how to add it. So let's say this is an overnight person and it start at 11 p.m. And as you notice, I don't have to put the 2 dots or the zeros or anything else. I just did the 11p and the system already know what I'm trying to do in here. So, and it worked until 6:30. And after you add the time, all you have to do is save it. Just to give you guys a little explanation on here, on what happened in here. As you know, pretty much all our employees are set for being auto deduct for lunch breaks. So once you put in here, this column right here will be your roll total. So means from 11 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. is 7.5 hours. But once I save it, the calculated totals, which will be the hours that this person will be paid for, is only 7 hours. If in the event that this person in fact did not took a break and we need to pay for that half an hour, all you have to do is cancel the lunch. Just keep in mind that I'm using here a drop down, but when you're using this for the first time, this will not be available on the drop down. You will have to choose it possibly from here. So you just have to click in here. If it doesn't come on your drop down, just click in here and select cancel lunch. And after that, you're gonna save it. And as you see, now the calculated hours are back to 7:30. I'll remove it, and now they're back only to 7. As you see also, every time I do a change, over here will let me know that I need to save it before I move away. Other than that, if I try to move away, it's gonna tell me that I have changes that I did not save. So I choose either to cancel to save it, or if I leave, you know that the changes that you just made will not be saved. Okay. So basically that's the way you add the hours in. One other important thing that you have to keep in mind when you're doing this is the allocations. So here is the labor levels or the allocations, and all the employees will have the ability possibly to move over a little bit from one building or one department to another according to what is the market that they're allocated to. But over here is where you're going to go and select where you want this person to be allocated to. This is very important because on our reports, these hours will be coming up in the report where these hours are allocated. So if you want to make sure that the hours that you're adding in or updating are hitting the right budget for the right property, you have to be sure the allocation is correct. So let's say I want to change the allocation from what it is to another one. I just switch an allocation for this person. So everything else could be in any building as we wish, as is needed, according to where they work. And this way you make sure it's hitting the budget for the right property. All right. If you need to, by any chance, add a second shift in here, just saying that this person came at 7 and or after 6:30, it worked in a different department, then you just have to add one more line in the day and tell that from 6:30 to, I don't know, making it up 12, this person work on St. Regis instead. So as you see, from 6:30 to 12, it work on one property, and from 11 to 6:30 work on another property. And that's the way that you will add, and you can add as many as you need to cover if you're doing any kind of break deductions this way. If you're having your employees clocking in and out their breaks, normally you will see more than one line. But if not, you only will see one line with the calculated total in here. But you can add as many as you want according to the shift or the properties or the department where this person has been working on through the day. Now to delete hours, you can, or update hours if the hours are incorrect. As I say, just have to override it. Let's say it was 5:30 instead. You just override it and save the changes. Once you have it correct, then you just go out and go to the following employee. If you need to delete hours, is two ways to delete hours. One is just deleting the hours from here, and the other way is deleting the complete line. And when I said delete the complete line, you just hit the X and the line will go away. So one thing you don't have to worry about is, like, for example, if I have hours in here and I want to delete these hours, you can always hit this. This line will not disappear, meaning you will not be disappearing the day, only disappearing the hours. Only when you have multiple lines and you hit the X right here, it will disappear the full line. But if there's nothing else in here, only one line, the line would remain in there, only the hours will be deleted. So once you delete the hours, you also save, and you're done. You can go back and look for the following employee and continue the process. So I think this is it for the time editing or timekeeping, and also allocation. So I hope you guys, one more time, that you find this video helpful, and thank you very much.